From the factories of Tamil Nadu, India to the boardrooms of Silicon Valley, this is the story of a man who took the tech world by storm. He holds immense power and control at the helm of one of the largest tech companies in the world, but how did he get there? Starting his career as a steel engineer, Sundar Pichai has now become a billionaire and a leader in the tech industry. Welcome to the incredible journey of Sundar Pichai, one of the most powerful and influential figures in the world, the CEO of Google. Sundar Pichai was born in Chennai, Tamil Nadu in 1972. Growing up in a middle-class family, he was always interested in technology and the potential it held. As a young boy, he was fascinated by computers and would spend hours learning about how they worked. After completing his education in Tamil Nadu, Sundar went to study metallurgical engineering at IIT Kharagpur. He excelled in his studies, but his passion for technology never waned. After graduation, he worked for a few years as a materials engineer in the steel industry. However, he knew that his true calling was in technology and decided to pursue a career in engineering. Sundar won a scholarship to study material sciences and semiconductor physics from Stanford University. Much of the money that his parents had in savings was used to buy his air tickets to Stanford. His degree in material sciences and semiconductor physics would later go on to be groundbreaking, used to the developments at Google. In 1997, he dropped the idea of pursuing an academic career and decided to drop out of his PhD at Stanford. He then joined Applied Materials, a semiconductor maker in Silicon Valley, as an engineer and product manager, and soon went to pursue his MBA at the Wharton School. After completing his education and business training, Sundar was ready to put his skills to use in the tech industry. He was passionate about using technology to solve real-world problems. His first job in the tech industry was at McKinsey & Company, where he worked as a management consultant. Here, he worked on projects for tech companies and helped them solve complex challenges. For example, he worked with a large computer hardware company to improve their supply chain efficiency, resulting in significant cost savings for the client. In 2004, Sundar joined Google and quickly established himself as a strategic thinker and innovative problem solver. As a product manager, he was tasked with developing and improving Google's core products to better serve the needs of users. Pichai arrived at Google with a quiet confidence, determined to make a mark on the company. Tasked with developing Google's search toolbar, he poured his heart and soul into the project, striving to give Internet Explorer and Firefox users a seamless access to Google search. As the toolbar gained widespread success, Sundar's mind began to race with the idea of Google having its own web browser. Despite the skepticism of Eric Schmidt, the then CEO of Google, Sundar's vision for a web browser was unwavering. He knew that it had the potential to change the game for the tech giant, and he wouldn't let anyone stand in his way. With a fire in his belly and a belief that could not be shaken, Sundar set out to convince the founders of Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, of the importance of his vision. After tireless presentations, debates and negotiations, Sundar's persistence paid off. Larry and Sergey saw the potential in Sundar's idea and gave him the green light to launch Google's own web browser, Google Chrome. With his dream now a reality, Sundar led the charge to revolutionize the web browser industry, changing the game forever. Before developing Google Chrome, Sundar spent months researching and analyzing consumer behavior in the browser market. He talked to users and gained insights into their pain points, such as slow load times, cluttered interfaces, and limited functionality. Armed with this information, Sundar set out to create a browser that would truly meet the needs of consumers. He leveraged Google's vast resources to make Chrome a superior browser. He utilized Google's expertise in search and data analysis to integrate the search giant services directly into the browser. He recognized that users often switch between search engines to find the information they needed. Integrating Google Search into Chrome. This seems obvious now, but it's only obvious after the fact. Pichai also integrated Google's data and security systems into Chrome, which made it one of the safest and most secure browsers on the market. This helped to attract users who were looking for a browser that would protect their personal information and keep them safe while they were online. He then used Google's advertising platform to promote Chrome and reach millions of users around the world. This allowed him to target specific demographics and regions and deliver relevant and compelling messages about the benefits of Chrome. He also leveraged Google's relationships with hardware manufacturers to have Chrome pre-installed on a range of devices, including laptops, desktops, and smartphones. This helped to make Chrome easily accessible to millions of users who might not have otherwise considered using it. This caused a shift in the browser market. With Internet Explorer and Firefox losing market share to Chrome, the financial impact of this shift was significant. For Microsoft, the decline in Internet Explorer's market share meant a monumental loss in revenue from their browser division. The decrease in usage also meant that Microsoft had to redirect resources away from the Internet Explorer and towards their new browser, Edge. On the other hand, Mozilla, the non-profit organization behind Firefox, saw a decline in revenue as users switched to Chrome. This resulted in a decrease in funding for their organization and had a ripple effect on their ability to develop and maintain their browser. Within its first year of release, Chrome surpassed Internet Explorer as the most popular browser in the world, and it has since continued to dominate the market. In 2012, he was appointed as the Vice President of Product Management for Google's Chrome and Apps division. This was a critical time for the tech industry, as cloud storage was rapidly becoming the norm, and consumers were seeking more integrated, seamless experiences. Google recognized the growing importance of cloud storage as more and more people were relying on the internet for their data storage. With the launch of Google Drive, the company aimed to tap into that lucrative market for cloud storage and generate additional monthly recurring revenue. At the time, many businesses and consumers were using physical storage devices or paid cloud storage devices, and Google saw an opportunity to provide a more accessible and affordable option. By offering a cloud storage solution that integrated with other popular products such as Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Docs, Drive made it easier for users to access and share their files from anywhere or on any device. However, Google did face significant challenges. It was entering a highly competitive market with established players such as Dropbox and Box and Microsoft OneDrive already dominating the market. These competitors had a strong user base, robust feature sets, and a head start in the market. But Sundar was up for the challenge. He knew that Google had a unique advantage, with a wide array of services that could be integrated into the Google Drive to offer a superior user experience. He saw the potential for a Google Drive to become much more than a cloud storage service, but a hub for all of a user's content and productivity needs. Consumers flocked to Google Drive with its free 15 GB of storage, intuitive user interface, and the ability to access their files from anywhere with an internet connection. The real-time collaboration features and the ability to work offline made Drive a valuable tool for both personal and professional use. As a result of Sundar's leadership, Google Drive quickly became a powerhouse in the cloud storage market, leaving competitors in the dust. The impact on Microsoft OneDrive was particularly devastating as they lost significant market share and faced layoffs within the company. The success of Drive was a defining moment in Sundar's career and solidified his reputation as a strategic and visionary leader. He took a product that was struggling to gain traction, and through a combination of innovation, marketing, and a deep understanding of consumer needs, he created a product that changed the game forever. By 2013, Sundar Pichai was leading the charge of Google's Chrome web browser and had positioned it as a top player in the market. Twitter, recognizing his expertise and success in product development, reached out to him with an offer to become the head of product development. This was a major opportunity for Pichai, as Twitter was a growing platform with a large user base. Pichai was faced with a difficult decision. On one hand, the opportunity at Twitter was intriguing as it would allow him to work on a new and exciting platform. On the other hand, he had spent years building Chrome into a market leader, and he believed that there was still much work to be done to solidify its place at the top of the market. Ultimately, of course, Pichai decided to stay with Google and continue to lead the Chrome team. He saw the potential for Chrome to become even more integral part of the online experience for users, and he believed that he was the right person to make that happen. His unwavering commitment to Chrome and his belief in its potential to transform the way people interact with the web was the driving factor in his decision to stay with Google. With his decision to stay at Google, it was time for the next adventure. He took over the Android division at Google in 2013, following Andy Rubin's departure to the company's robotics division. His key strategies for competing with Apple in the smartphone market included focusing on partnerships with hardware manufacturers, expanding the reach of the Android operating system, and making the platform more user-friendly. One of his key strategies was to offer Android at a more affordable price point than Apple's iOS. This made it more accessible to a wider range of consumers, particularly in emerging markets. Another important factor was the variety of devices available, with a range of different sizes, specs, and price points. This allowed consumers to choose the device that best suited their needs, whether they were looking for a budget-friendly option or a high-end device with all the latest features. His strategy was to also focus on software improvements. This included the introduction of new features that saw different levels of success, such as Google Now, a virtual assistant that could anticipate users' needs, and the introduction of Google services such as Gmail, Google Maps, and Google Drive into the Android platform. These enhancements helped Android compete with Apple's iOS in terms of functionality and user experience. As a result of these efforts, Android continued to gain market share and attract new users over the years, cementing its position as a top mobile operating system. By the end of 2018, Android held an 85% market share in the global smartphone market, compared to just 15% for iOS. It demonstrates the impact of Pichai's leadership and the success of his strategies in helping Android compete with Apple and solidifying its place as one of the top mobile operating systems in the world. In 2014, rumors circulated that Sundar Pichai was being considered for the CEO role at Microsoft, following Steve Ballmer's announcement that he would step down. The rumors for the candidacy gained traction as he was seen as a rising star at Google, having led the development of both Chrome and Android. However, clearly, he did not take the CEO role at Microsoft. There's no public information indicating why he decided not to pursue that position. It's possible that he felt a strong commitment to Google and its mission, or that he saw more opportunities for growth and impact at the company, or maybe both. Regardless, his decision not to take the CEO role at Microsoft ultimately had little impact on his career trajectory. After a very successful tenure at Google, the company's leadership and founders decided it was time for the biggest shakeup the company had seen yet. On August 10, 2015, Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, announced the creation of Alphabet Inc., a new holding company for Google. The reason for creating Alphabet was to simplify the company structure and allow for more focus on Google's core businesses, such as search, advertising, maps, and YouTube, while also allowing other ventures such as Nest, Fiber, and Life Sciences to operate with more independence and be better capitalized. Page stated that the creation of Alphabet would provide greater clarity and management structure with a strong CEO who can run each business. In essence, the formation of Alphabet allowed Google to better manage its rapidly growing and diverse portfolio of businesses. The move allowed Page to focus on the bigger picture of innovation and new ventures. Overall, the creation of Alphabet was seen as a positive step for both Google and its subsidiaries, allowing for a greater focus, transparency, and growth potential for each of the companies within the holding company structure. So Larry Page stepped down as CEO of Google in 2015 and became CEO of Alphabet. Of course, Sundar Pichai was a natural successor to Larry Page as the CEO of Google, due to his extensive experience at the company and his proven track record of successful product development and innovation. Throughout his time at Google, Pichai had been responsible for some of the company's most successful products. Sundar's relationship with Larry was reportedly a positive one, with Larry recognizing Sundar's leadership qualities and technical expertise. They both worked closely together throughout Pichai's tenure at Google, and Page was instrumental in Pichai's appointment as CEO of the company. Despite Larry Page stepping down as CEO of Google, he remained actively involved with the company as CEO of Alphabet and continued to provide guidance and support to Sundar in his new role.